back. We back at it, man. It's Friday. It's Friday. I was about to make a turn, but a big ass truck in. I have to get my car washed over here today. I don't know if they do. It really need to get detailed though. That's what it needs. Back at it, man. Just pulled up the Starbucks. Hold on, I gotta eat this real quick though. Just got this hot dog. Yes, I got a glizzy. This is if y'all not hip to the hot dogs at Racetrack or Quick Trip, both of them got good hot dogs. You not hip to them? You missing out, man. That's all I. If you know, you know. See, check me out. Got some relish on that guy, and that coleslaw, and we good to go. It's afternoon, so we still not intermittent fasting. Like I said, yesterday, man, we're extremely excited about what's to come. Yeah, very excited. New partnership. I should say new role. For an AI-based startup. Can't say all the specifics yet, at least until stuff is in black and white. But the whole thing is very exciting. Yes, we're a little bougie today with the Fiji water. But a lot of times I just be refilling it. Like I get it one time and then refill it like 20 times. Just because I'll still have the bottle. You know what I mean? But I genuinely like the way Like, I don't just buy it because it's, a little bit more expensive, whatever. I do think it tastes better. It has a certain taste to it. I like it. Not even the taste, it's just smooth. It's smooth, man. It goes down smoother than other type of hot dogs. But anyway, like I said, news from yesterday. I'm gonna be on the C-suite level of an AI startup. We gotta get all the details, work out, whatever, my compensation, equity in the company, all that kind of stuff. But we gotta work out those details. But that's a really, really big deal for me. I think the company has a lot of potential. And I'm excited about it. I'm basically going to be responsible for more or less generating revenue for the company. Nothing's going to change. I'm still going to do the things I've been doing. Like, I'm not going to just drop what I've been doing and, for this role. So again, the stuff I'm doing ain't going to change. But, again, I just think it's a really good opportunity for me to be on the C-suite level of, this startup. I think it can go to the moon. I think it has a lot of potential. And, again, it's exciting times. I'm basically going to be responsible for generating revenue. More or less. Me and the CEO, but it's kind of like what we're both, the CEO kind of has that responsibility too. But make no mistake, I'm basically going to be responsible for generating revenue for the company. Closing deals and stuff like that. The thing that's unique about this role is I'm gonna be doing a lot of the same things that I've been doing, especially whatever, just in terms of the sales process, but it's gonna be at a bigger scale, right? Because this startup, it has, we're targeting companies that are, worth 9-10 figures, right? Companies I've been trying to work with are not at that level, right? Because my business is obviously more of a smaller business, smaller in the grand scheme of things, right? Not, you know what I mean? We're targeting businesses that are 7-8 figures or whatever. But again, with this role, I'd be targeting companies that are worth 9-10 figures. So we close, so you can kind of start to understand, right? The goal would be to close a deal. Those deals are going to be worth a lot. They're going to be high value deals. So that's my point. The deals are just more high value that I'm going to be negotiating and things like that. But again, I don't think I'm at liberty to say the name of the company yet. Anything like that. Just wouldn't be smart to do. But as soon as everything's in black and white, Yeah, like, I've already come to a like verbal, talk to the CEO. But once we get everything in black and white, then y'all gonna have all the, all the deets, all the details and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's a big deal. We're on the C-suite level. Almost, I'm excited about it. It's almost like I want to take a step back and just like, reflect for a second. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow or Sunday or later today. Let's reflect, like, I know that if I keep doing the things I'm doing, I know where I'm headed. We just gotta keep doing the things we're doing. If it was up to me, things would happen. I wish I could speed stuff up. It's just like, even the things I've been doing before this, what I just talked about. I wish I could speed what I've already been doing, speed that up, But anyway, this role, it's something that's been brewing for a really long time, probably like, it's at least like a year and a half, something like that. Where I've been, just having conversations, with the founder. All these kind of things. We've, gotten to know each other pretty well, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Y'all gonna see, I guess pretty soon here, right? Y'all gonna see a pretty big shift in my content. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff. Like, we're gonna be doing some different stuff that I don't think, that I'm not aware of anybody else is doing. I'm gonna have to. It's a lot, bro. It's gonna be fun, man. I got so much like stuff. Like, it's just so much stuff going on. But because there's so many things I'm trying to do, but now I have to scale it back and like make sure that I'm like splitting my time the way I need to split my time. Because this, is I can't. This is like full-time shit, bro. You can't be playing. But the work I'm gonna be doing is like, it's not I'm sitting at a desk all day, right? Like, at a cubicle, right? This ain't the 9-to-5 shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing. I know a couple of VCs, right? For those that aren't, familiar, I'm talking about venture capitalists. I know a couple of VCs. These are VCs I've talked to a couple years ago when I was trying to raise funding for a venture that a couple years ago. But I've maintained that relationship with them. So I'm gonna meet with them, start that conversation, and trying to see how the best way to put it. Because I know these VCs, I'm going to kind of like nurture that relationship over time, so that they can invest in, our startup. That's gonna kind of be like secondary. That's gonna be like kind of like secondary. The reason I say it's gonna be like secondary, it's not gonna be the main focus, is because I learned, right? I learned a couple years back, right? This is why it's good to go through and start ventures and fail, right? All I still, obviously, if I could have had it my way, I wouldn't have wanted to fail. But this is why it's good to fail, because of the things I've learned from previous ventures that I've tried. It's invaluable. The things I've learned, most people will never have any idea, right, how to go about these things. And that's just because it's like, a lot of times, especially if like you're young, like you're really young, whatever, you gotta just do stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do stuff. You gotta just take a leap of faith and just do whatever the fuck it is you want to do, and fail, right? You're gonna fail, so like I used to, I guess at the time, real so mad about it, all upset, just furious about it. Like, how come this shit won't work? Like, just mad. Like, but looking back on it, it's like, because I did those things, I know what I'm supposed to be doing now. That's why I just, have been offered the role I just told y'all about, right? Like, had I not gone through the things that I've gone through, I probably wouldn't have been, offered this role. You know what I mean? So, and mainly what I'm talking about, I'm referring to going out and talking to VC, like going out and trying to, raise capital for your startup, whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, I was heads down with that, and I failed at it. And because I failed at it, I know exactly how to go about doing it this time around. You know what I mean? Like, I know why it didn't work. So, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go, if I didn't go and fail, right? Try something and fail at it. So, and that's obvious, and that wasn't the first time, we failed at other stuff too. So, but it's just, again, going through those trials and tribulations, like, that's what got me, got this person, to want to offer me this type of role. So, yeah, man, go through, do the shit, whatever it is you're trying to do it. Hopefully it's successful. If not, if it fails, take the lessons from it, right? And learn from it. So anyway, back to the things that I have already been doing, right, with the agency. Just to shift back to that, we did launch the ad campaign last night, basically today. Let me say today. We launched the ad campaign today, the Google Ads campaign. So, it's live. I'm gonna go look at it in a second. I was driving to Starbucks, and so on the way here, I was like, your boy, I gotta go ahead and start this stream, man. I gotta start this stream. Can't be playing. I gotta go ahead and start streaming while I'm driving. But so anyway, yeah, we launched the Google Ads campaign. I'm gonna go and look to see how. I mean, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, but we're gonna see. We got some leads from that. We talked. I told y'all many times about the cold email campaign. Shit didn't go the way we wanted it to. But we'll take a look at that too. You know, you never know. Like things can, you know what I mean. We'll see. We got some new leads from the email campaign. But mainly, as I've been telling y'all, the focus is on the Google Ads campaign. So yeah, we're gonna lean into that, and you know, as I see the thing that gets me excited about, you know, the work I've been doing with the agency before, you know, not before this role I was just offered, right? The stuff we've been doing with the agency. I said this, like, I don't understand, like, everything starts with the leads. Like, the shit, like, everything starts with the leads. If we get leads, right? If we get leads, right, we'll close new clients. We close new clients, we'll generate revenue. We generate revenue, then we'll generate profit. It's really that simple. Like, that's it. So that's why, like I told y'all before, that's why I was so disappointed in the cold email campaign. My dad says it didn't work because God was gonna, you know, he wanted me to get offered this role with this startup. But so that's my dad said that the email campaign, he's like, that's why it didn't work. Like, I was like, no, you're not gonna do this. But I don't know about it. Like, my thing is, that's why I was so frustrated about the email campaign, because as I told y'all, we don't need a ton of leads. Like, it's not like I need a lot of them to be, you know, making money with it. I just needed some leads. So that's why for it to just completely, like, just fail, like, not work at all, that's why I was, you know, frustrated with the email campaign. I'm like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, I don't think y'all really get how, you know what I'm saying, the way this was supposed to go, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's kind of where the frustration lies. But with the Google Ads campaign, just like I told y'all the other day, this is no different than you going into your local grocery store and going to buy some toothpaste. Toothpaste costs $5. $5 even. You hand the cashier $5, and so, you know, for the toothpaste, you pay her the money, and she says no. She's not giving you the toothpaste. Like, that's what this shit would be if the Google Ads campaign doesn't work. Right? Obviously, that scenario doesn't make any sense. Right? So that's the same thing in this case. It would not make any sense for us to not get any leads from a Google Ads campaign. So, you know, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be real interesting to see how it goes. You know, that's kind of why I'm sitting here talking to y'all right now, because at the end of the day, that was number one priority, was like to just start running the Google Ads campaign. The Google Ads, obviously, it's just a clickable link. Like, we just talking about a sponsored link. It's a sponsored link that you're clicking on Google search. So you don't, you know, it's not like we need a bunch of images and videos and shit like that. Like, you just need, you know, you pay for your placement, and then you go ahead and start the campaign, really. So the reason I'm sitting here is like talking is because it's like the most important thing is in motion. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of like, you know, just in wait and see mode with that. The most important thing that we have to do is already in motion. It's already in motion. So,
for the Braves over the Marlins.
Oh shit! And because the most important thing is already in motion, y'all gonna see me do some things today that are more like, y'all gonna see me do some things today that are more, I don't even know how to say it. Just like, I'm gonna do some things I need to get done. But because we already doing what we really need to be doing, because that's already going, I'm gonna have to get a new tripod. This tripod is cheap. This shit just broke. Look at it. It had three or four of the little legs on it. And now it's only got, I think it had three. Now it's only got one. So I can't even stand my tripod anymore. That's why I'm just holding the phone. But anyway, y'all gonna see me working more on like the operational stuff today, right? The sales stuff is underway. It's doing what it's supposed to do. That makes sense. And then if the Google Ads campaign does not go good enough, I know we're gonna get some leads through it. But the thing is, like, if it's not quite where I want it to be, then we're gonna go ahead and increase the budget. Right? We will increase the budget. Hold on. Gotta get my water. Oh, and I forgot because of the music. I'm gonna put y'all on mute now because of the music. All right, I'm gonna switch all over to the Mac, and yeah, so y'all bear with me. Switch all over to the Mac while I'm working. All right, so y'all can see we just started today, but you know what I mean? Or yeah, today, but no clicks, no impressions on our overall campaign or on our other service specific campaign. All right, so it still might be gathering data, all right, or whatever, but just letting y'all know. I realize y'all just saw my card information, even though it's only one of y'all in this bitch. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and get a new card or whatever. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, ain't no money on there anyway. So if that's what y'all if that's what y'all want to do. But yeah, I am gonna have to get a new card. All right, so we're switching over to the Mac, y'all. I will see y'all in a second. All right. All right, we back. So like I told y'all, man, it was not that much today that need to get done. Pretty straightforward today. At the end of the day, Google Ads campaigns got what it's supposed to do. All right, that's what we needed. And just like that, we back. Gotta charge this guy up. So yeah, man. I mean, Google Ads campaigns gotta do what it's supposed to do. That's the most important thing right now, man. That's the, how we're generating the leads since the email campaign didn't work. So the Google Ads really get going. I mean, we just launched them today. So we'll see how it goes over the next few days or what have you. But until we really start getting it going, shit really start moving. It's not a ton for me to do, bro. It's always something for me to do, but it's not a ton. Right? We're relying on the Google Ads campaign to generate these leads. Right? If it, generates leads like it's supposed to, right, then we'll close those leads, right? We'll get some new clients. And then we take from there. Actually, even before we get the new clients, right, like I'll have to create our lead magnet, right? We talked what our lead magnet is. So we get the leads, I gotta create the lead magnet, and then I send that lead magnet out. We have a couple sales meetings, and then I'm gonna close, obviously a certain percentage of those leads, right? I'm gonna convert a certain percentage of those leads into clients, right? So my point is, it all starts with the Google Ads campaign. See what I'm saying? Until we get leads, it's not much for me to do. Besides, I can do some operational stuff, but that's not where my time is best used, right? Like I need to spend most of my time doing, revenue generating activities. Whatever generates revenue, that's what I need to spend my time doing, right? If it doesn't generate revenue, I don't need to be doing it, right? As far as this, this agency, the web agency is concerned. But yeah, man. Again, like I told y'all, like I was saying earlier, man, we're excited about this new role I was just offered yesterday. Again, we'll talk about specifics when everything's in black and white, but still excited about it. I think it's there's just so much. It's unlimited potential with this company, bro. The company has unlimited potential, and I'm excited to join it, on the C-suite level, and be a key part of the team that helps the company grow, right? It's all about adding value. I feel like I add a lot of value, and I can help the company grow, which that's the most important thing. So that's what I'm excited about, man. Like I said, we gotta work out all the details. The whatever, my compensation, equity, all those type of things. We gotta work that out. But still excited about what's to come with that. Again, my role is basically going to be, I'm basically going to be responsible for generating revenue, forming partnerships, right? Like forming partnerships, closing deals with with other companies that can get value from our product. That's basically my role. So, and that's obviously a revenue generating responsibility. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's at a high level what I'm gonna be doing. Negotiating deals with executives at large companies. So, and I think that's the thing, bro. It's not just about like, being, like it's not just about the work I'm gonna be doing. I mean, or about I guess what excites me about the opportunity, bro, is just like I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing this. Like this type of stuff is gonna be really, really fun to me. Because now I'm working on deals that are gonna be 8, 9, 10 figure deals. Actually, not. I don't think they're gonna be 10 figure deals. But I'm gonna be working with companies that are worth 10 figures. But the deals themselves, we're gonna be working on 7, 8, 9 figure deals. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's fun to me. That's fun to me. And I'm gonna take my experience, things I've learned in the past, and apply them to to this company, right? The mistakes I made in the past with other ventures I had, I learned from them. I learned from those, so I'm gonna be able to apply them with this company. You get me? So that's what I am. That's another thing I'm excited about, like knowing that I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like that this isn't like, So anyway, yeah, man. Like I said, couldn't be. I'm excited about it, bro. I think that's part of the reason why I had to wrap up work a little bit earlier today. I'm just like a lot going on in my head right now. Right, we just added something else to the plate. Again, we're not gonna stop doing what what I've been doing. Still got a lot of faith in what we're doing there. As I've been saying, we're really close. I mean, we need to, we got to have a couple of things swing our way. But, it's so funny, bro. This shit is ridiculous, bro. Like, how close we are to, like, you know what I'm saying, being closer to where we want to be. Like, I told y'all before, we don't need, a lot of deals. We don't need to close a lot of deals with this with the business I've been running to be like where we need to be. So that's why I keep saying we're so close, because we closed a couple and we're good. So we just like continue to do what we do, and continue to do what we're doing. I'm putting a lot of faith in Google right now. I'm putting a lot of faith in Google Ads to work, basically. But I have to continue. I gotta keep pivoting, right? Like the email campaign didn't work, so I gotta pivot, right? And this is the pivot. The pivot is to these Google Ads. So naturally, you know what I'm saying, we are putting a lot of faith in in Google Ads. So we're gonna see how it goes. And if it goes right, bro, this is if our Google Ads campaign just doesn't fail, right? Like that's all I need to do. All I need the Google Ads campaign to do is not fail, and we're good. We're gonna be fine. right? The cold email campaign failed. If the Google Ads campaign does not fail, right? If it gets a D on the test, we're still gonna be good. I don't need a lot of leads from the campaign to be profitable, right? For the company to be profitable. Like, that's my whole point. But anyway, that's what we got going on with the web agency. We basically in wait and see mode with the Google Ads campaign that we just launched today. And then, with this startup, I'm being a little modest, right? I'm being like modest and conservative about it. This company is, again, I'm not, I can't say the name of the company yet, but this company is going to end up being worth 10 figures, multiple 10 figures. Like, it's not a game. It's not, it's not, your little, like, your average startup, where we're like, we already got a product, that's working and doing what it's supposed to do. So we already got a working product. There are other partnerships in place with companies that you'd be surprised for me to tell you about, like, that you'd be surprised to hear me say, right? Those partnerships are already in place. And the company is getting recognition from really, large tech companies already. Like, they're becoming aware. At least one of them, I can't say multiple, but one, like, of the biggest tech companies in the world is already, like, showing interest and supportive of this startup. If I say the name of this company, you wouldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm just bullshitting. But this company, like I said, is not a game, bro. This shit is for real. And sometimes I say it because I say it again. I'm saying it out loud because sometimes I can't believe it. This company is backing the startup. They have not. I don't think they've invested money yet, but they've been offering resources, are aware of it, all types of stuff. I believe they have. No, I take that back. They have. I believe they've already given a grant. They've already submitted. They've already given our startup a grant. One or two grants, and they're offering other types of support. Again, this company is one of the biggest companies in the world, especially on the tech side. So these are, what I'm saying, your boy's excited about this company. Those are just some of them, right? I think, again, the lessons I've learned, it's just the shit I've learned, bro, from, like, again, from the things I've tried to do in the past, these other ventures. Like, when shit doesn't go right, when things don't go your way, and like, specifically when it comes to raising capital for the company, and it doesn't go your way, you learn about what didn't go right. You see what I'm saying? You learn about, like, I know why we came up short. Like, I know what the fuck didn't go right. And so I know how to, go about doing things differently this time. Like, I know what I need to do this time around. So that's what gives me a lot of confidence. That's like, that, this can be really, really big. Another thing I'll say is, like, again, I know I can't really talk too much, about specific names of these companies and stuff just yet. But the how do I say, like, when a company like like the big tech company I was telling you about, when a company like this gives a startup a grant or any type of support, right? Like, they're not, even though they're this huge company and they got it, right? They got deep pockets. They're not just giving out money to anybody. They're not just issuing grants to every startup, right? They're still stingy with it. They're not doing that, right? Companies like this do that when they see the potential in your company, when they see what your company can be, and when they see what you've already done, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this company has a lot of potential. Let's support it, right? These are the things they do when they see the potential in a startup. And to be even more frank about it, if they wanted to, when they're doing things like this, that means that they're positioning your company to be like they're keeping their eye on your startup. When they're giving you grants and they're watching what you're doing, they're offering you like human resources, things like that. When they're doing those type of things, that means they are eyeing your startup as a potential acquisition. In other words, they are eyeing to buy it. They're preparing to buy it. They just want to see how the startup is going to grow. They want to see if it's going to start, if it's going to make money and get a lot more, secure some deals and just grow. They just want to see if the company's going to grow, right? It's almost like I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know, bro. It's almost like if I can't think of a good example that makes sense. But I think y'all get where I'm coming from. We're on their radar, right? We're on their radar. They're looking at us like, let's keep our eye on them. Let's give them a couple of little resources. And if they start growing and they can prove out their business model, let's offer them to buy them out, right? And companies like that, when they offer to buy any other company out, they're not coming with a they're not offering like they offering you the big bucks, all right? It's gonna depend on how much the company has grown, right? How much the company is valued at when they offer to buy the company out. It's gonna depend on how much the company is already worth, right? So the more the company is worth, the more that they obviously have to offer you, to buy you out, right? So basically, it's up to us. Like, with me being one of the key people, it's gonna be up to me to make sure that I can put us in a position to start generating as much revenue as possible. The more revenue we start generating from any partnerships, the more valuable the company is, the more valuable it is, the more a big tech company is going to offer us if they decide that they want to buy us out. So, I'm trying to do things the right way. Like I said, this just happened yesterday, so I gotta figure out exactly kind of what I need to, what the next steps are. Like, what am I gonna do over the next week? What am I gonna do over the next couple of weeks? What am I gonna do over the next month? What am I gonna do over the next 3 months? Right? Like, I need to kind of figure out what steps I need to take to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because when we're sitting here, like I told y'all, we already have a product. So since we already have a product, I don't have to, like, it shouldn't take, we're not talking about something that should take, years or anything like that to get going, like to get to a point where we're making a really good amount of revenue, right? I told you, we're gonna be, seeking deals that are, worth a lot of money. So if I can just like trying to see how to, if I can't, like, once we secure that one, right, that first one, right, once we're able to secure that first deal, that proves the business model. Like, make no mistake about that. Now I'm giving you free game. This is how I think. This is what I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn this the hard way. I was I told y'all, when I was trying to do my venture before, I had built this mobile app, yada yada yada. Went out there trying to talk to VCs, and long story short, I had the product, but I didn't have the revenue yet. I didn't have the revenue, right? We weren't making any money yet, and I wasn't, nor did we have any users yet. I just had the product. I had we call it the MVP, minimum viable product, right? That's all I had, and I thought that was enough. So I started contacting VCs, right? Like, quick Google search, find some venture capitalists, start reaching out to them. Every single time I reached out to hundreds of VCs, every single time, bro, they all would ask me the same questions. They said, what's your revenue? Right? Okay, you have a product, that's cool, but what's your revenue? We don't really have any revenue yet. Okay. So the VCs, they're like, okay, well, how many users do you have? I'm like, we don't have any of those yet either. Okay, then conversation over. What are you coming to us for? You're not doing that. Like, they basically were like, you're not doing shit. You're not there yet. You don't have any revenue. You don't have any users. So there's no need for us to have any type of conversation. There's no point. Why do we need to have a conversation? That's what they would tell me in so many words, right? Why do we need to have a conversation? Conversation over. So, knowing that and experiencing that, going through that myself, at the time I was so mad, bro. Your boy was so mad about it. What the fuck, man? I got this app I built. We got patent pending technology. We all this stuff. It's flawless. Our design, all the whatever, yada yada yada. To a VC, they don't give a fuck. They don't care, bro. They don't give a fuck. They don't care if you have the best product in the world. They don't care about, okay, you're using AI, right? It's based on AI. Patent pending, all that stuff. It sounds good. Those are buzzwords. All that shit sounds good. You have to think about it. You have to put yourself in that investor's shoes, in that venture capitalist's shoes. Right? If you think like a venture capitalist, what do they care about? They care about making money. That's it. Can your product help me make more money? If I invest in your company, am I going to make more money? That's how they think. They think all their brains work on just straight finance. They're finance people. So, and I didn't know that at the time, right? But now I do. So it's like, I know now that you can't approach any venture capitalist, any investor, if you don't have revenue, if you aren't making money with your startup, or at least have traction. That's what they call it. They call it traction. If it's an app, you need to have users, right? And more users, the better. If it's, whatever, or if it's, a business that's more reliant on, like, if it's a B2B, like in our case, you need to have clients, right? You need to have partners. So that's what it is. You have to show them that you are doing something, that people want what you have, right? And they're already paying for it, or they have, signed up for it, right? Something. They're already, you have those users, you have that traction. That's it. If you have both, you're golden. But you gotta have at least one or the other. You gotta have that revenue, or you gotta have traction. Those are two words I heard 1,000,000 times over, a few years ago. So now that I know that, you know better. If you know better, you're supposed to do better. So now that I know that, right, I would be a fool. I would be stupid. I'd be the dumbest person alive to try to approach a venture capitalist, an investor again, without my startup already having revenue, making money, or us having like customers already. I'd be a fool to approach them in that case. So now I know, right? I learned those lessons, and now I know we're not worried about the investors right now. The first thing we have to do is we have to go generate revenue. We got to go make money. So we got to secure partnerships with these other companies, right? These are like licensing agreements where we agree to a certain deal, right? We have to secure that. Obviously that generates revenue. And then, right, when we're generating revenue, now when we go to the VCs, right, when we go to that investor, we're no longer, like, we have leverage now. It's like you have leverage now. We're making money already, right? We're making money already. Do you want to invest in us and start making money too? Or do you what do you want to do? Right now, we're in a position of like power, right? We have leverage. That's why the whole shit makes sense to me now. And that's why so many startups fail, because they don't, they don't know what I just explained to you. They don't know that. And then, because they don't know that, they never raise the capital, right? And because they never raise the capital, the startup fails, right? They say 90% of startups fail, and because they can't raise capital. So, like I said, man, that's why, again, because of what I went through in the past, I know that one of the first things I'm going to be doing is, definitely before I talk to any investors, I'm going to work on securing some partnerships, right? Generate that revenue. Then when we go to the investors, we have that leverage. And if they decide that they don't want to invest in the company, what the fuck? What difference does it make to us? We're already making money, so it's a win-win for us. You get me? We're already making money. You see my point? It's like, okay, we're making money through these partnerships. We're asking you to invest in us. We're asking you to invest in our company so we can grow, right? If you don't invest in our company, it's your loss. You're the one who's not going to see a return, right? We already making money. We just want you to invest so we can grow faster. Right? So we can scale the company faster. But we don't at this point, we don't need the investors' money. That's the difference, right? If we were to go out looking for investors right now, we look needy. We look like, we look needy, desperate. If we start knocking down the doors of these investors now, we look desperate. We look needy. Whereas if we're making money through these partnerships we've secured, right, we're generating revenue already, and then we go to the investors, we're not needy. We're now at this point, we're not the needy ones. We're trying to help you out. We're trying to help the investor out. We're trying to help them make more money by investing in our startup. Right? It's switched. Right? You're the needy one now. The investor is the needy one now. They're the desperate one now. They're not desperate because if they're an investor, they're probably doing well, right? But you get my point. They're the ones that are needy now. The roles have been reversed. So that's what this is about, man. The fun part is going to be how I go about securing these type of deals. Again, same stuff I've been doing really for a while, but at a much bigger scale. So that's going to be the fun part about it to me, because now I'm working, I'm doing like, I'm working on bigger deals, man. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. So, yeah, your boy has a lot of faith in what I'm doing. We gonna have to, that's why I need to take some time to, I don't know, like at least a day. I need to take a day, 2 days, something to just like sit back, reflect, pray, all that. Like just meditate, do something. Do all those type of things, because adding this to my plate now is obviously this is not like a hobby, right? Like it's gonna take up a lot of time as well. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna manage our time. I already dropped the girl that I was rocking with. I already had to drop her the fuck off because she was becoming like a distraction. Not even a distraction. She just, we were having too many arguments. She wasn't my peace, right? I need my girl to be my peace. She wasn't my peace. She was my chaos, right? She brought the chaos, not the peace. So that's why we have to go ahead and let her go. And then now, it looks like it was right on time, because your boy's time is gonna be really limited now, or more limited than it was in the past. So but yeah, so y'all see me. So my content, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start doing some different things. It'll be good. It'll be good to start doing some different content. So I'm gonna start. Like one of the things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start going to more networking events. Specifically, bro, I'm gonna start going to events that have angel investors. Probably be some venture capitalists there. Different meetups and networking events like that. To start networking. When you do, I'm basically, what that's about is starting a network. So that once we secure the partnerships, I'll already have people within my network that I can call up and ask if they want to invest in the company. Right? But I have to start networking now. I have to start doing that work now. So because you'd be surprised, bro. When you talk about these angel investors and these VCs, they, obviously they're just people, bro. They're just people with a lot of money, but they're still people at the end of the day. So you have to get to know them and vice versa, right? Just like, how people always say, working a 9 to 5 is politics. Trying to get someone to invest millions of dollars in your startup is politics as well, right? You can imagine that that's political as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like, now I have to start networking now, and building like relationships with these investors now, without pitching the company. It's just like, it's gonna be just getting to know them and like talking to them, understanding how they think, what they do, how they became wealthy, whatever, all these types of different things, right? We're just gonna be getting to know them and vice versa, like I said. And then, right, once they basically, bro, just keep it a buck, right? Once they like me, right, they'll listen to whatever I have to pitch them. Right? If they not even, I don't even like to say like me, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, once they know me, like trust me, they'll listen to what I have to say. I don't really need them to like me. I'm just, but once they trust me, they'll listen to what I have to say, right? Like, they know me. I've known them, let's just say, for 6 months or a year or whatever. So if I say, I got this, then it's like, if I say I got this startup, we do such and such, we do such and such and such and such. We've already, we're generating revenue. We're generating X amount of revenue already. Yada, yada, yada. We have this number of partnerships already. Yada, yada, yada. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, Miles, yeah, let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, put some time on my calendar. Right? Put some time on my calendar for next week, and let's talk about it. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about this startup. Whereas if I was a stranger, right? If I was like somebody who was just cold emailing them, or cold call, I found their phone number, so I'm calling them up randomly and trying to pitch them my startup. They aren't listening to that, bro. They aren't listening to that shit. They gonna hang up the phone, or they might listen, but more times than not, they're not hearing me because they don't know me and they don't trust me. Right? I need to go play golf with these investors. We need to go have a couple rounds of golf. Right? I need to go to lunch. I need to go to lunch with them. I need to go to dinner with them. Right? I need to meet, their family. Right? We have to do those things. Right? That stuff is necessary at this stage. That stuff is necessary at this stage. The only thing, right? The only way I wouldn't have to do all that stuff is if the company was already making millions of dollars, right? We're up 7-8 figures in annual recurring revenue or something like that, right? If we're doing something like that, then they're not gonna be as hesitant to write the check. But when we're in the beginning stages, right? Right now, again, the most important thing I can do from an investor standpoint is just get to know some of these investors. And I know how to find them. I already know a couple of them. So y'all probably see me talk to them if they're comfortable being on camera. We're gonna see. But I'll probably stream, myself talking to a couple of them. And just see where it goes. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just where it's gonna start, right? So again, I know a couple of them from when I was, when I tried to when I was trying to raise capital with my other venture a couple years ago, like I was telling y'all about. So we'll probably start with them, but I know where to find like how to find other venture capitalists. And it's just like anything else, right? If you want to find somebody, at least me, I don't know, I can't speak for any other people, but if I want to find somebody who does something that I need to, like if I need to find, I can find whoever I need to find, basically. If I need to find them, I can go find them, right? It's this 2025, y'all. If I need to go, find, a few venture capitalists, I can do that. It's not hard. So, and I have no, I can, again, they just people, right? Like, your boy is not going to get nervous or whatever by just talking to them and getting to know them. Like, I've been doing that type of shit for a long, long time, right? We don't, we're not going to, again, as long as I don't bring up the startup, we're not, at that point, we're not talking about the motherfucking startup. We aren't talking about, the company that I'm going to be working for, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about shit that people talk about on the golf course. Like we're golfing, okay? We're golfing. We're lunch. We're dinner, and so on and so forth. That's going to be kind of stuff I do. Like I'm trying to see. Like that's not going to be like the everyday stuff I do. That's going to be like the stuff I do. Every couple, a few times a week or something, right? Like in the evening time or whatever, right? That's going to be like the secondary stuff I'm doing. The primary thing I have to focus, like the primary stuff I'm going to be focusing on, like I said, is going to be securing the partnerships, right? Because that's what's going to generate revenue. So follow me. We secure these partnerships. We start generating revenue. While I'm doing that, right? While I'm working on these partnerships, I'm getting to know these investors, just on a personal level. So then we're making money with the company, whatever. Then when it becomes time for me to go ask one of the investors to invest, I already have that relationship with them. It should be a fairly easy, it shouldn't take much convincing. It's going to be a lot easier for me to get them to write me a check because they know me, right, on a personal level. So it's, we're playing chess, basically, y'all. That's what you call playing chess with this, with this whole situation. So that's at the highest level, like at a real broad level. That's the plan. So yeah, man. And just to give you an idea, bro. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So follow me. Hold on. Y'all be sure to follow up, bro. If y'all are interested in like, entrepreneurship, business, that's what this is about, man. That's what we doing, right? One of the ways, like that's what we all about, bro. I'm anyway. That's what I'm about, y'all. Y'all should know that by now. So if that's what y'all into, y'all gonna be interested in this content. So again, a lot of these things, I'm gonna try to stream as much of this type of stuff as I can. When I go to a networking event, I'm gonna stream it. When I talk to the VCs I know already, I'm gonna stream it. I might interview one of them. Let them know I want to interview them or something like that. I want to interview you to, so you can tell your story and tell your story of how you, got to where you are now, yada, 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 right? And people love to talk about themselves, right? That's my point. They love to talk about themselves. So that's one way I can frame it with a lot of these investors, right? So anyway, that's what we are. But I was gonna say, so follow me. This gives you an idea of what I'm talking about, right? What I'm about to explain. So a guy I've done business with now a couple times. When I say done business with, he's a client of mine. We've done a couple projects for him. Okay. We built this website for him, all this kind of stuff, right? And I consider him to, basically be a friend at this point, right? And I talked to him a few weeks ago, and, he said, hey, he's let me know, hey, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. Like, basically, he's, offering me, he's letting me know about another project he wants to do that he feels like, that he knows I can help him with. So, so he's explaining to me the project, and, he's letting me know. He just let me know. He's like, let me know, like, what your, how much it's going to cost monthly. And, I could have, I kind of wanted to, the quote that I came up with was actually higher. So I'm actually doing, I've actually ended up giving him somewhat of a discount, really. Because we went to the same school, and like I said, I consider him to be a friend at this point. So I gave him a discount. Anybody else, I probably would charge them more, right? But I told him the quote, the discounted quote. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I want to do it. And he's like, he's just trying to get a couple of things done first. And a couple other like deals that he's working on. He's trying to get those done. And then, he wants to go ahead and move forward with this. And one of the things he said to me while he was explaining that he wanted to move forward, one of the things he said that just stuck out to me, and I appreciate that, and I, it's likewise from me to him. He was like, I trust you, right? I've given him every reason to, because every time he's asked me to do anything, we've delivered, right? So I would think that he would trust me, but that's what he said. He was like, I trust you. So yeah, let's get it done. That's the same. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to, we want to apply it to these investors, these VCs. It's the same concept. If they trust me, right, and they know me on a personal level, and they trust me, and on top of that, my product, especially if it's already, we already got the revenue, that's just like a bonus at that point. Then it makes getting the deal done a lot easier. It's a lot more likely to go through. It's a lot more likely to happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, so when you do what you're supposed to do, right, you build trust. And once that trust is built, you got that mutual trust with, yourself and that person. The deals are, likely to go through, a lot more likely to go through. So, yeah, man, like I said, that's the case with this. That's the case with this, with us basically playing chess with these investors, with these VCs. We're thinking not one, not two, not three, but more like 10 steps ahead. Of, how we can, again with these VCs, how we can build that trust, build that relationship, and position ourselves to, get that investment without struggling to get that investment. Right, like much more likely to receive that investment. Now, the CEO of this company, he we're not looking for some serious money. Looking for multiple 8 figures. I think, and this is his initial. This would be what, pre-seed. Like, this is a pre-seed round, maybe seed round. No, I mean, I guess this would be considered pre-seed round of funding, right? And he's already looking for multiple 8 figures in a pre-seed round. So that should give you an idea, like, that what we're talking about trying to do here. Like, we're looking for some serious cash. So yeah, man. Yes, sir. My dad told me I need to chill today. He said I need to chill and give time to God. Like, I need to, he's like, don't do no work. Just, give the Lord your time. Reflect, meditate, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's what my dad was telling me I need to do. That's, that is part of the reason why, like, I'm not working right now. Like, I'm not on the Mac right now. Still working. It's just like, that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now. I don't know what to say. But yeah, man. The squad plays today. My team. My Atlanta Falcons play today. So excited about that. We first preseason game. There is no bigger Falcons fan on the planet, than your boy. So I'm always excited to watch my team play. We play the Lions at 6 p.m. Central. So playing them today at 6 p.m. Central. I don't think the Stars gonna play for real, but I like the team. I like the squad this year. We got 2 young pass rushers, that we just drafted: Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. We got, I feel like we finally got a QB, franchise QB, Michael Penix Jr. We got Bijan, in my opinion, top 2 running back in the league, and we got we got Drake London, top 10 receiver. Darnell Mooney, in my opinion, the most underrated receiver in the league. So, he's hurt right now. But we got, Jesse Bates, best safety in the league. AJ Terrell, one of the best corners in the league. We got talent everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We got veterans where we need to have veterans. And, it's kind of mixing with that, like, the young guys, the youth talent. So yeah, I think it's I think we got talent across the board. I like our OC, our office coordinator. He I think he'll take a step forward. I think he was still getting his feet wet with calling plays and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna see some improvement from him with calling the plays and whatnot. And then our defensive coordinator last year, he didn't get the job done. He wasn't ready. But I think our new DC, Jeff Ulbrich does not think. I mean, he's got a lot more experience, right? He's been successful at the NFL level, we're calling NFL defenses. So, because he was with the Jets last year, that defense got after it. They got after people. They got after people last year. So, and I think, from whatever thing I'm reading and seeing, he's bringing that same intensity to our defense. And I feel like he's got the players to do it, right, to get after opposing offenses. So, I like the whole squad, bro. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is our interior, the interior of our defensive line. We got a lot of young guys, first and second year players. So, we're going to be relying on them a lot to get the job done. So I think that's going to be like, it's a big ask, right? To ask like these first and second year players to man literally the front middle of our defense. But other than that, I feel like we're not weak at any position, like at all. So and most teams can't really say that. Like most teams have weaknesses like all over the place, right? I know this team inside and out, and the only true weakness I see, because I am gonna have to say it's a weakness because we haven't seen it. I am gonna say the front middle of our defense, that interior of the defensive line. Those guys are unproven, so we can't just assume that they're gonna be good, which is what I feel like the team is doing. But every other position, I feel good about what we got. So yeah, man. I mean, my goal is, and wouldn't it be some shit, bro? Like my goal really is to own the Atlanta Falcons one day. That's my real goal. Like, I feel like if I own the Atlanta Falcons one day, if I can take over take the reins from Arthur Blank, I think we gonna, that again, that would be like my ultimate goal is to own the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like if I've done that, I've accomplished one of the biggest things I've ever wanted to accomplish in life, if not the biggest. In terms of like what I want to accomplish on earth, that'd be one of the biggest things I want to accomplish, is to own the Atlanta Falcons one day. That'd be dope. I'd be smiling from ear to ear every day. You wouldn't be able to tell me shit. But yeah, man, it's we're just gonna continue to do what we've been doing, and should be good. But yeah, for now though, blank, he's got him down. He got him, we ain't there. We know where. You know what I'm saying? He got the team locked down. With what he's got going on. So we a long ways from being able to achieve that, but that is something I want to achieve. And then, it starts with the work that I'm talking about right now. You know what I mean? It really does. I mean, this is where it starts. Has there ever been a black NFL owner? I don't think so. I don't think any black folks have ever owned an NFL team. I don't think so. I know some black GMs. Obviously, our GM is black, but the owner, I don't think there's any black owners in the league. So that'd be dope. To say the least. Yeah. Let our CEO, all right, let him tell it. The company's gonna be, our company's gonna be worth it. Here soon. All right, bet Adam. But let our CEO tell it. He thinks the company is worth $1 trillion. He feel like it's $1 trillion company. You know what I mean? So, that's when we say $1 trillion company, I think that's when you're talking about like the Apples of the world and Googles of the world. If that's the case, we got a lot of work to do. All right, I'm not gonna say whether I think it is or like whether it has that potential or not. All right, at the end of the day, I'm planning to join the company. Right, again, it's not in black and white just yet, but I'm planning to join the company. So why would I try to limit us by saying, the company, that might be a little too ambitious, right? We ain't gonna say that. It could end up being worth that type of money. Could be. Definitely could be. Ooh. But I've been posted here for a little minute now. I'm about to go back to the crib. Yeah, about to go back to the crib. Go ahead and buy me a new tripod ASAP. Maybe I'll go get a massage today. Maybe we'll do that. Only thing about massage is I never want to spend the money. That'd be the problem. I love massages, but I'm so stingy with my money. I'm like, I don't want to spend the money though. Acting like it's that expensive, but it's expensive enough, But I love massages. I just don't, like I said, I'm not always in a rush to spend $100 on a massage. You get me? I need to email my lawyer, see what's going on with my case, and all that. I don't really know what the status of that is. They ain't been saying shit for like literally absolutely nothing for the longest time. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I feel like my skin looks brighter. I've been drinking a lot of water. Well, I don't know if you say a lot, but we've been drinking like half a gallon a day. I feel like that's a pretty good amount. I'm drinking half a gallon of water a day, and then been taking like my supplements. So little skin supplements and everything, like hair and skin supplements. So I feel like it's making a difference in the skin. Adam can join soon, bro. I'm about to dip though. Adam, I'm gonna dip. I gotta dip in a little bit. Little kiddos getting out of school.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, these chips right here are dangerous, man. If you know, you know. Need some dangerous chips. You start eating these, before you know you ate 2 bags of them. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see where this Google Ads campaign can go. Um, I'm optimistic about it. I feel like if we have the right budget, right? If I decide to increase the budget to, you know, more than, I think right now it's right around $500 a month or whatever. If I decide to increase the budget, like I probably am gonna need to, I'll be even more optimistic about it. But I feel like Google Ads is the right direction to go in. When it comes to paid ads, I just don't feel like Facebook ads are, gonna do it. The leads they're not as high intent, right? The leads coming through Google Ads, Google search campaign they're gonna be higher intent leads. So that's why I really wanted to lean into that. Hold on real quick, y'all. I'll use the restroom. Back. Oh yeah, I probably need to make that card now, huh? Yeah, I need to make it now. I have to do some cooking real quick. me set my phone. Do this. I mean, it don't really matter. I gotta use the restroom again. Hold on. I think I'm out. I'll be back, man. I gotta use the restroom again. It's crazy. We back. I might go for a walk real quick before it's already hot, but it's not supposed to get too hot today, so I might go for a walk real quick. I think the high is like 83. My legs are sore. Need to get more rest. Let's feel how hot it is outside. I mean, it's hot, but it's not that hot. It feels fine. It's not hot. It's warm. Feels good though. Yeah, man. That's really what I had for today. Like I said, the rest of the day we're just gonna kind of chill. Do some reflecting, probably some meditating, all that kind of stuff, man. Seriously, just to get our mind right for all the things that I'm about to be doing. You know what I mean? So, yep. Taking a second, man, to just take in everything. Pause. I had all these things I wanted to do today, all these things in my head, and different things I wanted to do. But I think I'm gonna do like my dad said, just chill today, the rest of the day. At least for a couple hours. At least for a couple hours. Yeah, let me go on my walk, and that's gonna do it for today. My pants keep falling. I put this belt on. Nah, we don't do that sagging stuff, bro. That shit dead. Hold up. Sometimes I might wear pants that like sit low on my waist, like they look like they low or whatever. Like they're designed to sit low and whatnot, but they're not sagging though. You know, that they are not. switch out to my headphones real quick. And we are out of here. Going for this walk. Bro, is that even a real bird? That's a real bird. Hold on, I'm actually gonna take it off of my headphones. Alright, yeah, it's hot as hell. Luckily, I'm only gonna be out here for what, like this walk. It's like a 15-minute walk, something like that. 15, 20 minutes. One of the things I thought was interesting, man. It was interesting. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. The right after I, you know, talked to the CEO of this startup, and you know, he offered me this position on, you know, within his company. I was like, it was kind of crazy because like right after that, within minutes, I ran into two people who I was in Target, ran into them, and they just started like speaking the word of God to me, man. It was crazy. Like I was just like, why are these pants? They just started like speaking the word of God to me, which I thought was really, really, I don't know, I guess the whole thing was just really interesting. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what are the odds of somebody running into you, or you running into someone else for that matter, in Target, right? And them just like automatically just doing that, like just, you know, stopping you in Target and start, you know, speaking the word of God into you. I thought that was, you know, I really feel like I felt like it was like a sign. You know what I mean? I feel like it was a sign. And then just like, my dad was like, that's he's like, that's the Lord, you know, trying to get your attention. That's what that is. I was like, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I really feel that way too, because the odds of somebody just stopping you in Target, just randomly stopping you in Target, and, you know, like I said, speaking the word of God to you, like, it's slim to none, bro. Like, you know, random people are not approaching you in Target to do that. You know what I mean? So I thought that was, you know, that was cool. But yeah, man, we're just gonna continue to do what we gotta do. So far with the campaign, I mean, I know it's day one. I still expected to see something. You know what I'm saying? I still expected to see something. I wasn't expecting to see none. You know? So, you know, we're gonna see. We're gonna see though, man. Basically, what I'm trying to do at this point with the agency is like, with the agency, I'm basically trying to like, I'm trying to let that be my like steady, what, you know, quote unquote steady. Obviously it's my company, but I'm trying to let it almost stand or represent like that consistent, you know, regular income stream. Right? That's really what I'm trying to make the web design agency into. I'm trying to make it that, you know, that regular income like you would get from a 9-to-5. And it's, you know, and it's been frustrating to me because it's like, it doesn't require, you know, a lot of client. Like, I only, you know, I told y'all before, 1, maybe 2 clients, you know, a month, you know, clears that 9-to-5, you know, my old 9-to-5 income. Right? So that's where where a lot of the frustration lies. I'm like, bro, like, but yeah, man, this Google Ads campaign gonna have, you know, it's gonna do what it's gotta do, man. It's gonna do what it's gotta do. I believe that. And even if I have to, shoot, you know, fuck it, we can increase the budget to, you know, what would it be? $35 a day? I know $30 a day, but it's like $900 a month or whatever. So we could reach it between, like, we could probably do between $30 and $35 a day. You know, basically my point is, whatever we got to increase the daily budget to, that's what I plan to do. Right? Whatever we got to increase the daily budget to get, you know, a few leads a day, right? A few leads a day. People that are like submitting that form, that's what we're gonna do. Right? So if our daily budget is too low, if we aren't spending enough money and we need to spend more money, we need to double it up or whatever to start getting those leads, and then so be it. Right? Then that's what I'm gonna do. Simple. I need to tap in with our alumni network too, man. Tap in with the alumni network a little bit more. You know, both Morehouse and Spelman, for real. I did that a little bit when I started to, when I was looking for investors for my oh, do I got a bee under my I've never, knock on wood, never been stung by a bee before. Or a wasp. So we ain't trying to start it today. I haven't seen any while I've been walking around, but it's not like they're that big. Oh, I haven't been able to see my screen, Adam. What's happening? You back? The glare from the sun, I can't really see the screen that good. But you said you back though. Hold on. Yes, sir. Hold on. Oh, you said you've been working from 5 a.m. to like 12? Damn. What you been working on? And then I needed to help my father drive a delivery from his company. Okay, I got you. Anyway, I saw the stream was up. Yeah, we've been going for about 3 hours now. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Been busy. That's good, man. That's good. Being busy is good. What is your dad's company again? What did you say what company does he have again? I know we talked about it. It was a long time. That was a minute ago though when we talked about it. Okay. It's all good. Yeah. He's an entrepreneur. Your dad's an entrepreneur. That means you gotta make it happen too, Adam. He said too tired for it. No, I got you. Yeah, it's pretty late there already, right? Or I don't know if it's that late, but it's, it's later in the day. And you've been working all day, so I get you. Oh yeah, it's 9 p.m. But when you've been working all day, I know that feel like midnight. I feel like 1 a.m. So that's good though, bro. Staying consistent with the time. So it's 5 to 12 every day? So you're working for your dad's company right now? Oh, nah. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, bet. All right. That's what I like to hear though, man. Oh my key. I had to race up because of the sun. Are you still doing the Are you still working on the graphic design? The 2D and 3D avatar? Yeah, on the character. Yeah. That's what's up, man. You got to let me know how it's looking. Or did you send it to me on Discord? You know I don't be checking Discord like that. But if you sent me the character on Discord, I'm gonna check it out. Did you start? So I'm assuming you ditched ChatGPT and you started using like a different tool. Oh, it's gonna be fully movable. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Okay. You're gonna have a full movable character. So you're gonna use this in like video, like in. No, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you're gonna use the character in videos, or what's the plan with the character? Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Yes, sir. Get that Porsche. Get that Porsche. So yeah. So the plan is to gather a following and then start selling merch. And then you're gonna buy the Porsche. Right? Let's get it. Let's get it, man. That's what's up. You got good taste in cars, Adam. Porsche is the only way to go. The only thing, yeah, I mean, Porsche and Ferrari are my favorite cars. Which one is the better car? Which one you think is a better car? Porsche or a better maker? Porsche or Ferrari? I think I know which one you're gonna say, but just trying to understand like how those two different makers are viewed, in your part, like in check. But I don't know. I feel like probably in terms of performance, Porsche is probably still the top dog. And then, I'd probably say Porsche is still top dog when it comes to performance. And then Ferrari, I feel like it's got performance and a little bit better, like, looks of the car. Yeah, Lambo is a piece of shit. I don't like Lambos. Like, I know, I don't. Some people like them, whatever. I don't like them, bro. I don't like them. They just, I don't know. But I think, yeah, I'm with you on that one for sure. For sure. All right, bet. We shooting tomorrow? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. Time, I'll probably say I'll probably be back a little bit later tomorrow. It'd be like 1. Just an hour. Well, no, I'll be here at noon tomorrow. Same time. All right, bet, bro. I'll catch up with you tomorrow then. Do what you gotta do. Yes, sir. Yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, we were working earlier, bro. But yeah, I got you. Don't worry. I feel like going into the pool, but then like it's still like I would need to put on a little like sunscreen and all that. I don't feel like doing that right now. I like to go to the pool when it's like early in the morning. Not in the afternoon time. Like I said, early in the morning. When it's afternoon time, I feel like it's just, I don't know, that ain't it. That ain't it for black folks. Alright. Got here later in the day, early in the morning. I feel like I'm feeling this heat a little bit more too, the sunlight, because I got all black on. So I'm about to take some of this off. Put a different shirt on and all that stuff. All right, y'all. I am going to holler at y'all a little bit later. I will be back tomorrow. Y'all already know what's going on, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, we're gonna continue to review the Google Ads campaign. That's what's up right now. We're looking for that to generate some leads for us. I keep saying it, but the same thing. Leads will lead to clients, which will lead to revenue, which will lead to profit. Right? That's how I look at it. That's why the focus right now just focus on whatever is going to generate leads. So that's what we're doing there. Cold email campaign, again, those emails, they being sent out while I'm sleeping, right? So we're continuing to do that outreach, see if that can pick up. 450 emails a day being sent out. Those are two different ways we're trying to generate leads right now. And like I said, and then we got the onboarding workflow for new clients, get them onboarded and sign the contract, pay the invoice, all that kind of stuff. We're working on that right now. My guy was out sick or something urgent. He said something urgent came up, but he's back now, kind of getting back to it. But yeah, man, those are kind of 3 things we're working on. As far as new role, the C-suite role, it's we're going basically right now we're going to kind of take a step back. Basically this weekend I'm gonna take a step back and figure out what the next steps are. Like my dad always tells me, pray about it. Like, ask God, give me the next steps to take and things like that. Because I don't know. Like, I know what I need to do, and I feel like I know how to do it, but I don't really necessarily know the order of how I want to do things, and just exactly, when I'm going to do certain things, whatnot. But, just, again, pray for him to give me that vision, and we're going to be all right. That's that, man. Until tomorrow, we'll catch y'all later, man.